And then, of course, this awesome splash page of a dude's taint. Here we are with Faust Act 14. We have one after this, and quite sad we're coming to the end of Faust. Pretty meaty book. A lot of pages left, but this is the point where I feel like Tim Vigil was taking forever. Or maybe David Quinn was taking forever. I'm not sure. Tim Vigil at his absolute best at this point. Hyper detailed. I mean, these issues I feel like were taking forever too. Because I think the series started in I want to say the very early 90s, very late 80s. And I think it finished in I want to say 2016 or something. I could be wrong on those dates. So it's a lot for 15 issues, but Tim Vigil is always a guy who I feel like always put so much detail into his work that he just needed the time. He wanted to put out the best book he possibly could because this was like his baby, it felt like. So he wanted it to be the best he possibly could make it. And man, just looking at this opening splash page, yeah, he accomplished that. Yeah, just great stuff. I mean, look at these pages. Look at the inking. Look at the anatomy. Man, I love it in this big treasury or whatever size is oversized. It just looks so good. I've said this a million times. If you haven't been able to get your hands on this book, you absolutely should try your best to, because it looks so good in person. I love it. I love also towards his guys still look super buff when they're wearing jackets, like their muscles still come out. Very muscular, all of his characters, but that anatomy, so good. Such an amazing drawer. Actually, good isn't even the word for how great his anatomy is. Just unbelievable. I love the expressions that he draws in his faces too. He pretty much has it all down at this point. I mean, he had it down issues before this, but this is a guy you're looking at. You're just he's a master. This is the equivalent of looking at Michelangelo or Da Vinci. I mean, it's unbelievable. Man, look at those pages. Also, he draws buildings way better now and cars than he did in the beginning. I've always said, and I probably said this in a million other Tim Vigil videos that I've done, but I love looking at those original Conan books by Barry Windsor Smith because you see the growth from issue 1 through 25 or whatever. The same goes for Tim Vigil. When you look at Faust issue 1 and you look at this, the growth is unfucking believable. I mean, it is amazing how much he grew as an artist in such. I mean, it's a long period of time, but he was doing other books at the time too. So, and then of course, this awesome splash page of a dude's taint and what looks like dragon people. I'm not sure. Gotta get in there. Yeah. That's a taint if I've ever seen one. Man, look at that. I mean, look at that drawing there. God. I like I said, in the previous video that I did on Tim Vigil, if this is your first Tim Vigil video that you've seen, this won't be me repeating, but his anatomy just locks in so well. I mean, you see that tricep back there, and then that elbow locking in to that forearm, and then you get this nice cylindrical shape until you get that cube by where the wrist is. And the same thing with how his legs lock in. Those muscles lock in beautifully, and then into the knee. I mean, it just looks so good. I mean, this is a guy who's an absolute total master. This is the stuff I try to figure out on a daily basis. And it looks like he has it down perfectly. He has a YouTube channel where he draws. Like, he explains things like composition and inking and stuff like that. And I know his books take a while because he puts so much detail in it, but he can draw a book in he can draw a good drawing in like 15 minutes. He can draw a great drawing of Faust. Sorry if you can hear my cat in the background. He's meowing. Man, I've always said anybody who can draw like great anatomy instantly for me is just amazing. Again, great face, great expression. I love the impact that you're getting there of the fist hitting him in the face. I mean, he must have been. I don't know if he was. I think I don't. Did he switch to digital at some point? I don't know, but like you kind of get this weird brush feel, which is interesting. I don't know if I particularly like that. I don't know, but everything else looks great. Again, drawing very like strong women, very like I don't know, just anatomically like structured, very structured women, which I feel like sometimes artists don't draw women like that, but Tim Vigil absolutely does. My cat really wants to get in the room. Sorry. So if you hear him crying in the background, I apologize. Man, I mean the way he draws like the fingernails, like just really really awesome. I feel like he's like I don't know. It's some of the stuff feels like digital to me. I don't like it. Maybe he's finishing it off digitally with like a brush. I'm not sure. Yeah, that's pretty much expected from Faust. Yep. Every character is like a sex crazed crazy person, and yeah, so cool. I don't know. I just love the way he draws. I love these muscles. They just look fucking great. I mean, I've said this. I definitely think he's a Bridgman guy, but I can definitely see the Burn Hogarth there, too. I wish I knew exactly, like, how he studied. I know he said that he was a Burn Hogarth. That he learned how to draw hands from Burn Hogarth. That's what he said, at least in an interview I watched. And then, obviously he drew from looking at his favorite artists, like Bernie Wrightson, I believe was a big inspiration to him. And then you get a funny panel like this. That's such a funny, weird panel. That one, very interesting. That feels like, I don't know, a rush job. Like maybe David Quinn's like, dude, you got to finish this up, dude. Like it's taking too long. Perhaps. I'm not sure. And, yeah, Faust looks cool as fuck, dude. He's such a cool character. He's like Wolverine, but I don't know, with demons. Man, look at that. Look at that fucking deltoid there. That dude's jacked as fuck. Look at that deltoid. I mean, look at the deltoid going into the tricep and then the bicep. It just looks so cool. And he draws hands like a motherfucker, too. I mean, look at that. Look at that foreshortened hand coming out. That arm. Such a difficult thing to draw. That arm coming at you. Very difficult. And then we finish it out here with this awesome close-up of our boy Faust. And then we are going on to Act 15, which is the final act. And it seems like it's actually quite meaty. So when we go through it, it might take a little while. I don't know what the time period between these two issues was, but like I said, Tim Vigil is notoriously known. The cops are, I don't know if you could hear the sirens. The cops are coming after me because I'm looking at Faust. No, but Tim Vigil is notoriously known for taking quite a long time drawing his comics. And, you got to remember, he inks most of his stuff. I know that Tim Tyler inked some early stuff, but he's inking this and penciling this, and the amount of detail he puts on the page is insane. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it, and next week will be the final act of Faust, and I'm very excited, but also quite sad to finish it out. But what I have coming next is huge, and I will probably announce it at the end of Act 15 next week. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it, and yeah, that's Faust.